Hello, my name is Mary Angela Hardwick, Vice President of Education and Interpretation at Historic Annapolis. A question that HA often hears is, what's happening with the Burtis House? To answer this, I'd like to share a brief history of the Burtis House and then bring you up to date on what the plans are for this unique historic resource. Located at the end of Prince George Street, between the U.S. Naval Academy and Susan Campbell Park, the Captain William Burtis House is a rare architectural reminder of the days when the lives and livelihoods of many Annapolitans depended on the water for both seafood and transportation. From his building at the water's edge, Captain Burtis supported the maritime industry and local economy by renting boats, skippering cruises, hosting yachtsmen, and providing fishing bait and tackle. This house was likely constructed between 1878 and 1885 on a parcel that is mostly landfill with a high water table. Originally a double house, the building became a single-family residence with 5 bedrooms and homed only one family, the Burtises, from 1882 to 1971. With current city dock planning, you may wonder why the Burtis House faces Prince George Street and has its back to Dock Street. That's because the Burtis House and the building where Sophie's Crepes is located today at the opposite corner were originally part of a full block of Victorian homes on the south side of Prince George Street. This block made up the southeastern boundary of the lost neighborhood of Hell Point. Through annexation and condemnation, homes in this diverse working-class neighborhood were demolished north of Prince George Street for expansion by the U.S. Naval Academy during the early to mid-1900s. The block behind the Burtis House and Sophie's Crepes, facing Dock Street, was also demolished. It contained commercial buildings used for sheds, storages, lumber yards, and this row of 10 dwellings, located near the site of the current Harbor Master building. More changes would come, which would lead to the configuration we have today. Here we see the back of the first block of Prince George Street. Halsey Field House in the background was built in 1957. This photograph is dated to the early 1960s and predates the replacement of some of these buildings by the Harbor House restaurant, now Latitude 38. If we consider the Burtis House and Sophie's as bookends, the buildings between them today, infill from the mid-1900s, were oriented towards Eagle Alley to sit on what would become the surface parking lot. Today, as a result of demolition and development all around it, the Burtis House is one of the last remaining examples of the vernacular architecture representing an entire community of watermen's homes in Hell Point. This history explains why the Burtis House is such a rare and important surviving piece of Annapolis history. The Burtis House is not significant for its architecture. It is significant because it stands as a representative of the cultural history of our maritime heritage that it embodies, its 90-year connection to one waterman's family, and as a physical reminder of the lost Hell Point neighborhood and all those who lived there. So what's happening with the house now? In 2020, the Burtis House was transferred from the state of Maryland to the city of Annapolis. The recommended and long-awaited first phase of preserving the home involves elevating it out of the floodplain to an elevation of 7 feet above sea level, which is about 3.5 feet higher than where the first floor is today. The structure will be stabilized and mothballed to protect it from the elements and additional deterioration until phase 2 begins. Phase 1 is being managed by Preservation Maryland, and work is imminent. Phase 2 of the Burtis House project includes rehabilitating the structure for adaptive reuse. Due to its premier waterfront location and deep connections to Annapolis's maritime heritage, the Burtis House will serve as an anchor for city dock redevelopment and is planned to house the Harbor Master office once their current building on city dock is demolished. The City Dock project includes a proposed addition to the Burtis House known as the Maritime Welcome Center. The design of the Maritime Welcome Center has evolved over the last few years, and in May 2024, the current design was unveiled. For many, including historic Annapolis, the main concern in the City Dock plan is the scale of the Maritime Welcome Center, which HA believes is 2 times too big and, as an addition, overwhelms the historic Burtis House and threatens its critical historical integrity. For more information or to sign up for our advocacy alert emails, please see the City Dock redevelopment section of our website, annapolis.org.